Welcome to Hamer Reviews. My name is Christopher Hamer and today we're reviewing the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation. Now, Apple's AirPods are hugely popular. You only need to move around any urban centre, I think pretty much anywhere on the planet, and you're likely to see the telltale white earbuds in people's ears. It's not unlike the white cables that we used to see in the peak days of the iPods. However, unlike the bundled headphones that you got with the iPod, Apple's AirPods lineup has improved year over year with every iteration that they've released, whether it be the standard AirPods or indeed these, the AirPods Pro. Now, the AirPods Pro, being Apple's premier tier, costs £250, so they're among the more expensive noise-cancelling wireless in-ear headphones that you can buy. But for that money, you are getting pretty good specs, especially with this 2nd generation. You're getting up to 30 hours battery life, including the case and the AirPods themselves. You're getting noise cancelling technology, you're getting full compatibility with Apple's spatial audio feature, so that actually sort of tracks the way you move your head and tweaks the music so that you can really imagine like you're actually in the auditorium listening to the band or music being played live. And the main thing is you get all of Apple's slick and sleek integration. Now, these headphones are absolutely compatible with any Bluetooth device. So you can use these with your Android phone, you can use them with a tablet, with your computer, it'll all work. But the experience itself, if you're using an iPhone or an iPad, is much slicker with one-click pairing and, customizable settings that are incredibly easy to set up. And more generally, Apple just makes that process incredibly slick. And it's not the same kind of experience that you'll have if you are using an Android. Now, I did review the Apple AirPods 1st generation when they were released. In fact, I did that release day and virtually no one watched it, linked above. But these are very different. I've taken some more time with them because these were released at an interesting time. They were released at the same time as Bose's new Quiet Comfort earbuds 2 as well. So to me, those are the two sort of top tiers available at the moment. Now, I did have a listen, though I haven't owned yet, the Sennheiser Momentum Wireless 3s. Wasn't that impressed. But to me, the AirPods Pro and the Bose are kind of the ones that are both up there. We're still waiting for Sony's WF-1000 XM5s, which undoubtedly will be released at some point soon, given that we've now seen the WX-1000 XM5s on ears. But for now, to me, those two are the most interesting, the Bose and these Apple AirPods Pro. The thing I'm most impressed about with them is the huge advances in noise cancellation technology. Now, a lot of this, I think, heralded from the Beats line initially, but they've clearly gone a really long way to develop the algorithms they're using, the microphone array on these headphones, to really maximize their noise cancelling potential. Let me give you some scenarios that I've used these in recently. I've flown across Europe, so that's about a 2-hour flight where I was using them. I've taken train rides in numerous countries at this point. I've used them along busy roads, so I've really been able to test them. And just across the board, these do a much better job of noise cancelling the world around you. I can pinpoint some specific things they do better and some things that I think they haven't improved as much on. So speech is something that undoubtedly has been improved. If you're working in an office and you've got someone next to you, these will really drown out their phone conversations, etc. really well. It's very impressive. Apple has certainly improved that. The general sort of background noise you get as well of like a plane, the sort of drone, that's much better. I feel like the original AirPods Pros weren't able to do a good sustained job. Like you'd still hear it a fair bit in the background, whereas these really cancel out a lot more. It's like the noise cancelling is more effective because it's sort of able to cancel out more sound. Now, where they, for me, haven't improved as much is those higher pitched sounds. So here's a really specific example just from today that comes to mind. But if you imagine you're walking along a relatively busy road and it's recently rained and you have that sort of high-pitched tyre hiss that you only get on a wet road, they can't cancel that out very well. The same kind of thing when I was on trains, the sort of higher pitch sounds you get off the wheels on the track. Again, that's one of the things they're struggling with. But that doesn't change the fact that the noise cancellation is clearly among the best that I've come across. I was playing with the original AirPods Pro earlier on today, and it's chalk and cheese. The development in them is fantastic. Sound quality is, of course, the other thing, and it's always going to be a big thing. And for me, the Apple AirPods deliver Apple's what I'm going to call signature, relatively inoffensive sound. They aren't the best sounding in-ear headphones that you can buy, in my opinion. But they do everything very well. So it's perfectly enjoyable listening to pretty much all varieties of music using these headphones. But perhaps the thing which you might sometimes be lacking is that excitement. So it's odd. They have a good amount of bass, but they don't go quite as deep as I'd want them to go. And the highs are very clear and crisp, but sometimes they're not quite as tight as I'd want them to be. You're starting to get into very specific nitty-gritty where it really is subjective. It's no longer objective. I'm not able to say for certain you're going to infer this the same way because they are that good. I will say though that Apple's spatial audio feature, although interesting, isn't something I enjoy at all. I've tried to enjoy it on many occasions throughout the last few weeks of having them, but I just can't get excited by it. The noise cancelling features are great, but the spatial audio feature I just don't get. I mean, yes, it's cool being able to move your head and the music to change slightly, but to me it doesn't add to the experience that much. That being said, just using Dolby Atmos's sort of higher quality, so the lossless music that you can get, clearly is an improvement. So I'm glad Apple has gone down that route, but I'd leave spatial audio off the majority of the time. Of course, the other thing that people are going to use these headphones for is phone calls. And I have to sit through a lot of calls where these headphones, whether it's this generation or the previous, are being used for calls that I'm on. And unfortunately, nothing annoys me more because no matter how good the beamforming technology of microphones gets, if I put them in my ears, they're still miles away. They are still, the microphone's here, my mouth is here. They're only going to be able to pick up so much. And Apple does a good job of noise cancellation. I'm going to play you a clip in the moment that I recorded at one of London's busiest train stations at a relatively busy time with me speaking. And the noise cancellation is cutting in, but it cuts in so heavily because there's so much background noise that it's very difficult to hear the other person. And even if you're recording in ideal scenarios, it's still not it's still not that great, to be honest with you. What I did find interesting, and a little tidbit, because I'll play that too, but if you record video with them in your ears, you can still use them to record the audio, but they actually don't use the noise cancellation, so the sound is much better. Obviously, it includes background noise, but you can kind of see the difference. So I'll play this side by side, and you'll hear what I'm talking about.
And this is an idea of the audio quality from the Apple AirPods Pro if you're using them in a pretty terrible situation. So in this case, I'm in Waterloo Station in London. It is a Saturday afternoon, it is extremely busy, you've got announcements, you've got lots of people walking around next to you. Most in trains, so if you were to make a phone call, this is likely the kind of sound quality you would get from that.
Something I noticed quite soon after I tried the recording test I just did is that activates the noise cancellation, but if you're recording video, it doesn't. So if you're recording something with your AirPods whilst you're out and about, this is the sound quality you're going to get if you're using the camera's video app and you're recording video rather than recording the audio via a sound recording app or phone call. So this is what's going to sound like if you record video. Very different, lots more background noise, but it is arguably a much cleaner sound.
The other thing that I think I should address when we're talking about the microphones is that they just work very easily. So that pairing ability, I can understand why people would use them. I just find that even in ideal circumstances, they're just cutting a lot of the background noise. They're cutting in with the noise cancellation, and it just makes it not the best. They're probably, among the best when it comes to wireless in-ear headphones, but they're never going to come anywhere close to a proper headset. The thing I haven't also discussed is the case and indeed the fit and comfort and build quality of these earbuds. The case itself is lovely. It's among the smallest on the market. It fits in your pockets really, really easily. We've already mentioned the 30-hour battery life, including the case. I mean, that's a long time. It has a metal hinge, so you don't need to worry about this breaking anytime soon. They've now included a metal clasp on the side that you can attach a loop to and hang it off your keys or whatever. And they even have, if I take out here one of my, this is a MagSafe charger, they even have MagSafe charging on here now. So you can actually charge them super easily on any MagSafe charger. They'll stay relatively put if you have them attached to a MagSafe charger as well. Don't shake it too vigorously if you do that, because I just threw these across the room. But you know, that is good. The fit of them and the comfort level is very high. So if I put them in my ears, I mean, they're not massively obvious. I mean, they are obviously, but they're not terribly huge. They're very comfortable in your ears. They come with a number of different silicone ear tips. I'm using the largest ones here, which help you get that nice seal to provide the good noise cancellation. And generally speaking, the comfort levels are very high. I like the fact as well, so if you take just one ear out, you'll mute the music, but also the other ear will switch off noise cancelling, which makes it much easier to hear the world around you, and more importantly, reduces that sort of odd pressure wave that you can get with noise cancelling headphones, so that's a nice touch. Apple should also get a shout out for the controls, because they have made some improvements. For one, you can swipe up and down to change the volume, which is a vast improvement, and you have the same clicking system at the bottom to change the functions from single clicks starting and stopping content, double click skip, and then you can also hold in the button to actually either start your voice assistant, or more likely, that's how I've got it set up, to change noise cancelling modes. Really nice, quick, easy way. Hold it in, change it to, for instance, transparency mode, so you can hear the world around you, or active noise cancellation, whatever it is that you want to activate. That's nice. The controls are much better on here, and they're much easier to use. One thing I did notice is it isn't the most secure fit, so although you have very high levels of comfort, I did find once or twice they did come loose in my ears, even with these large ear tips. So comfort-wise, very good, perhaps not the most secure fit, so your mileage may vary if you're using these for running or similar. Generally speaking though, it's undoubtedly true that the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation is an excellent set of wireless in-ear headphones. I cannot deny that, and for £250, they better be. I think that Apple will continue to learn and improve the sound quality. They're clearly very committed to it. I don't think they can make the case much smaller, but I love the fact of how small it already is, and including things like MagSafe, great. It is still using a lightning cable to charge them. They include one in the box. It's an odd choice. I feel like they're moving more and more to USB-C, and this is just an odd one not to have changed. I know that their iPhones still use lightning, so it does make sense. But again, time to move with the times, and let's see the end of lightning and maybe move to USB-C. Simply because it's more ubiquitous. I'm more likely to have a USB-C cable on me these days than I am a lightning cable, because I use a MagSafe charger for my phone, even when I'm out and about, and so I just don't carry lightning cables anymore. So that is the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation. I also have a video coming up that's comparing these to the Bose Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2. So check that out, should be out in a few weeks. And equally, if you have any questions about the AirPods, pop them in the comment section below. Happy to answer whatever I can. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope I see you again next time. Goodbye.